and welcome to a very special WrestleMania edition of Bonehead FM. I am your host, or co-host, Chris Foale. I'm accompanied here by the 9 foot tall Ryan Bowyer.
Wow.
And you can't teach that.
There you go, it's true.
I didn't mean to start off the podcast in such an insensitive manner.
He's had a dig already.
I apologise. Just love the bants. As I say, very special edition podcast. We wanted to just record this conversation to run over WrestleMania 32, which is airing from Dallas, Texas, so this Sunday, 3rd of April. Run through the card, talk about the event in general, talk about some predictions and just general thoughts and feelings. And Ryan, I know you love talking about thoughts and feelings.
Yes, and I've got many thoughts and feelings to speak about here when it comes to all things WrestleMania. So fire away.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of that's the difference between with me. I kind of just like have my fanboy hat on, and if I like something, I really like it, and if I don't, then I can tend to be a little bit negative about it. Ryan has much more of an informed opinion. He does his homework a lot more, and he has a much more of a business hat on than I do, and understands why the company, such as WWE, does certain things. So it'll be an interesting conversation and perhaps some sparkling debate that we're going to have in the next.
Yeah, I like that one. That was definitely a compliment. Oh, I remember that. That was good. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to get them all the time. So anyway,
yeah.
So let's talk about the event in general. So it's this Sunday. It's WrestleMania 32. As
Yes.
I say, I know it's from Dallas and Texas.
Yes.
In the AT+T Stadium.
You are correct, yes.
It's about the extent of it, but obviously it's a very special event, one of the biggest. You probably have a bit more insight into it than I do.
Yeah, well that's it really. I mean, it has been billed as the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and it will definitely be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. It's in terms of the event itself on Sunday, there will be the most people ever in attendance at a WrestleMania. That's already been confirmed. They've already pretty much sold out. In terms of the amount of money that they will make on the day, in terms of ticket sales, that will be the highest grossing WrestleMania, the highest grossing WWE event of all time as well. That's already confirmed. I mean, they're onto a record breaker. And obviously it's not just about Sunday. It's a week long of festivities that's actually kicking off tonight on Wednesday. They've got all sorts of things going on this week. I mean, the amount of money that's going to be made is going to be ridiculous. It's a real festival, a celebration for all things WWE. And we've enjoyed it once or twice or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times in the past.
We have, yeah. Well, it's funny because this is the first one to be at Texas since WrestleMania 25, which was our sort of the one that broke us into actually seeing the event live. So a bit of history there.
Yeah,
it's interesting how it's already broken records and the event hasn't even happened yet. I mean, it truly is a testament that the name WrestleMania itself sells so much, even if the card isn't perhaps what fans or even WWE
think about the
themselves
injuries.
wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has been a bit of a patchwork in terms of the roster and putting matches together, but it's a testament to the strength of the event, I guess.
Strength of the brand.
The magic of it all.
It is, yeah, and it's obviously a lot more spectacle than most other events, and they managed to rescue it this year, I think, when Shane McMahon turned up. And we're obviously going to get that one of the big main events there, Shane McMahon, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. I mean, that's made up for all these injuries and the bad luck that they've had, because obviously when you think about it, there's an awful lot of injuries. A lot of guys are going to be missing, but it's WrestleMania. It's the interest is there. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. It's already the biggest one ever. It hasn't even happened yet, so there we go.
Yeah, more on that later with Shane O'Mac and Undertaker. Lots of thoughts there.
Yeah.
One other thought though, just one last thought about it before we go into the juicy meat of the card itself. If it's already broken records, everyone's talking about 100,000 AT&T Stadium, 100,000 attendance and that, but it can't possibly house that many because the Titantron itself shaves off a good eighth or at least of what could possibly fit it. So that's just a complete work, isn't it?
Yeah, well, people do say that. Dave Meltzer says that.
The Melts.
Yeah, I mean, they apparently in entertainment they do it a lot. Obviously, I don't know, you don't know, people don't know. They glorify, they sex up the numbers to make it seem bigger. So a lot of people would say that it actually wasn't 93,000 people at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Instead, it was kind of 80,000, but they made it sound bigger. You know, either way, we don't know the truth. It's going to be an awful lot of people. They have sold out 85,000 tickets. I think that's been confirmed. They've got standing room only that they're going to go for, and they're probably going to announce over 100,000 anyway.
I think if they announce any number less than 100,000, people will say, "Oh, they didn't make the 100 then." So it makes me question whether they'll just come up with a worked figure.
Vince is no mug. It will come across as the biggest. It is the biggest. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to look for little excuses here or there. It's a huge event. It's a massive event. It's as big as it's ever been. It's going to be big.
Yeah, true, very true. All right. Well, I have the card in front of me here in the form of very, very comedic emoji form. This is it's very, very good. I've put together a blow-by-blow match card, and it's in pure emoji form. And I've obviously put it on Twitter, and it's Gone viral. As you see, it's probably got about 15 favourites and 10 retweets. So it's really taken on a life of its own.
Wow.
So yeah, very proud of that. Anyway, this may not be in...
Get over yourself.
Yeah. I take them where I can.
Yeah, jokes.
I need it. I need the acknowledgement.
Where's Wang to put you down?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why he's not invited on the podcast. Three's a crowd. So I'm not sure if this is necessarily going to be in chronological order. I think what is confirmed for the pre-show, and it's a 2-hour pre-show, is that it's definitely going to be the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I think it's also going to be the US title match. I think that's on the pre-show.
Well, there's a bit of confusion, I think, at the moment, whether there will be 3 matches on the pre-show or 4 matches for the pre-show. So the original 4, obviously, the one that's got the least interest will be that 10 women tag match that's going on. Right. That's definitely going to be on the pre-show. Kalisto and Ryback is also definitely on the pre-show. Right. The Dudleys versus the Usos is also definitely going to be on the pre-show. And when I was thinking about the card earlier this week, I completely forgot about that match, which kind of shows you the build. Good that they're on there and everything. We'll talk about that. But and then the other one is obviously the Battle Royal, which I think originally was on the pre-show. Now they might move it in. Okay. Obviously they're going to work out the time restraints and go from there. So we're a bit confused on that one.
Well, if there's one that needs to be sacrificed to make more time on the card, it'll be a match like the Battle Royal, I suppose. But let's tackle those 4, I guess, at a moderate pace, a fairly quick pace, considering there's not much promotion or not really featured matches as such. So, but we'll go over some thoughts with that. We'll start off with the 5-on-5. I think it's Team Bad and Blonde versus Team Total Divas.
That's the one,
and that's a headline attraction match name if ever I heard one. But I mean, from my side, not too much to say about it, really. Truth be told, hand on heart, I haven't really followed the build-up of this kind of rivalry, if you quote-unquote rivalry.
I don't think there's been much to follow.
No, I don't think it's not exactly been War and Peace or anything like that. But it's cool that these girls have all got an opportunity to be on the card or on the pre-show at least to be featured. This is pretty good.
Definitely.
Really happy, obviously, for people like Natalie and Neidhart, who definitely deserves it as well, and
Emma,
people like Emma, and Naomi as well. That's really cool to see. There's been I think a little bit of controversy or a bit of a backfire on social media about the inclusion of Eva Marie and even Emma, because they've not even been on TV necessarily for a good year or so, and now they've been launched straight into a WrestleMania match. It's kind of scratched a few heads. I think a few people would have liked to have seen some like legendary divas like Lita or Trish or even Jacqueline in the match. I would have liked to have seen that as well. I don't feel too strongly about it either way.
No, I don't think many people do, and that's the key thing. Do you know what I do feel strongly about? Tamina, I had a look today, 38 years old.
No.
She's 38.
Is she really?
She's 38 years old. Get rid of her.
But it adds another log.
Get her out.
Yeah, it does. It adds another log to the fire of getting rid of her, because I've not seen anything from her that's impressed me remotely. That like facial-wise, charisma, in-ring work.
Yeah, she's
very
not great.
Stilted and just
Also,
doesn't do it for me. Obviously, then her family relation being The Rock must help.
Exactly, and also I was also as surprised to find out that Eva Marie is 31.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Eva Marie?
Eva Marie is 31, yeah. And when you got divas like Sasha and Paige who are like 23, 24, and someone like Lana's like 27, you can kind of imagine that. But Eva Marie being 31 is quite surprising.
If you'd have told me she was 21, I would have believed you.
Exactly.
I'm very, very surprised.
She doesn't look that young in the face. It's the body that's really young.
And she's really made up.
I know.
I think they did like a little video of that, the makeup they put on her, and she basically looks like a completely different person without the makeup. So
we know our makeup. We have a makeup podcast on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. Tune in for that one as well. It might get just as many numbers as this one.
Yeah.
Not much else to say about that, though. I don't feel, as I say, too strongly about the lack of Diva Legends. I understand the promotion behind it with Total Divas, which leads me to think that Team Total Divas will probably win that one, so they can kind of raise their hands at the end and just give a bit of promotion and exposure to the show.
Yeah, but I was going to say, first and foremost, actually, I think it's brilliant that they've obviously made as much of an effort as they can do to get everybody on the card. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's going to be left out, and that's really important. Although they've obviously worked so hard throughout the year, get the performers on the card, obviously all these women as well. So it's a good thing, all of these matches, although some of them obviously aren't as well built as others. It's just good that they're on there. But yeah, I think in terms of predictions, I'm going to agree with you on this one. Let's go Team Total Divas.
Yeah,
my favourite show.
I don't see the logic really of having the other team win that one. So yeah. We'll go both. It's 2 points in the bag for Team Total Divas from us on that side.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on, I think the next match will likely be the tag match, the Dudleys versus the Usos. Again, yeah, great to see the Usos and the Dudleys, on the WrestleMania card in some shape or form, especially the Dudleys. It's great to get them there. I'm sure it'll be a really good match. All four are great. They've had matches before, and it's always been very enjoyable. And they'll do everything they can to make it as memorable as possible.
Yeah.
Only slight sort of tweak of disappointment for me is the promotion for it. I mean, it would have been nice to have a bit more of a story behind it. I don't really understand what their beef is. I know the Dudleys have obviously turned heel recently. Don't really know why. There's just not been a lot of story behind it, really. It could have been just a couple of segments or just a match or two to explain, what the animosity is about, just to give it a bit more fire and maybe make it a tables match because the Dudleys don't use tables anymore.
Yeah.
To make it a bit more interesting would have been nice for me.
Yeah, that's the thing here. I think, obviously, when the Dudleys came in over the summer, there was an awful lot of excitement. I was really excited about when they came and they took on the Usos. Because the Usos, to me, are kind of like the backbone of the tag division over the last few years. They've had great rivalries with things like the New Day, Kid and Cesaro, the Wyatts, when they had those tremendous matches. So the Usos are really good. Everyone's behind them now. But the idea of them against the Dudleys, when that happened, felt like, wow, this is going to be amazing. And if you told us, it's going to happen at WrestleMania, I'm sure we would have both thought, brilliant, this is going to be so good. And obviously, when it comes to the day and the match, it will be good. I'm confident we'll enjoy it, but it's just, as you say, the story's been a bit lacking. It's obviously the other matches on the card have got most of the efforts, and this one's kind of fallen down a little bit. But who are you gonna go for?
I would have to give this one to the Usos, I think. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either way if the Dudleys or the Usos do win, but I think it makes slightly more sense for the Usos to win just because it kind of puts them over a bit more to win against a really established team like the Dudleys, and I think they could do with the win a bit more. Okay,
cool. Well, I will go against you on this one. I'll go with the Dudley boys.
Dare you?
I know. Well, I think they're featured a little bit more. Bubba Ray was all over Raw, kind of getting in Roman's face. Maybe there's something there. They just seem like they've got a bit more momentum, a bit more going for them at the moment compared to the Usos, who unfortunately don't seem to be up to too much. So, Dudley boys, one of the best tag teams of all time, one of my favourites. Glad to see them there. And I'm gonna go for them.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah, it's interesting how much they've used, especially Bubba Ray, in the build up to the main event of WrestleMania. It makes me think whether they've got more plans for him after.
Yeah, they're good enough. They can do it at the top.
Yeah, of course. There was talk about a month ago, just in the build up to Fastlane, that there might be some grounds for having a TLC match between those two teams and New Day. So I think there's probably a little bit of disappointment there that's not panned out. But considering the other matches that are on the actual card, it's not too surprising.
The gimmicks have gone elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fair enough. If that match was to happen, it will get lost in the shuffle and would take the shine off of the other ones. So don't have a problem with that at all.
Cool.
It could happen. Who's to say it can't happen some other time during the year? All right, moving swiftly on. We have next. Let's go with Kalisto versus Ryback. Now, we should caveat beforehand, this podcast, in the very same vein as our friends at Gorilla Position.
Dear friends.
Yeah, this is a celebratory podcast. We're not just going to just dig the show unnecessarily. But with that in mind, Kalisto versus Ryback just does nothing for me. I'll lay out the reasons why.
Yeah.
Very quickly. First reason being, I like Kalisto a lot. He's great. He's really interesting and entertaining to watch in the ring. But since he's had this US title, I don't really know anything more about him. And that's a shame for Kalisto, but also for the US title because of the prestige that's built up over the last 12 months. The work that Cena done with it has been well documented. It's been brilliant. It's really created a much needed sense of like magic and prestige about the title.
Yeah, that's gone.
And that's gone now. Yeah, in the case of a few months, it's kind of gone because it's not really been regarded as the same way anymore. Kalisto won it in a really weird fashion by kind of beating Alberto Del Rio really quickly on Raw, and then losing it, and then winning it in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah.
There was no kind of can he, can't he, because we knew who really could beat Del Rio, and it's just really sort of fizzled out since then, which has been kind of disappointing. It's a shame to say the title's gone back to square one, really. Yeah.
Well, it's I mean, it is what it is. I think you're right in what you've said. It's not the end, though. I mean, obviously, WWE TV, it'll go on the next day, and maybe they will get behind Kalisto more in the coming months. That's the hope, because we all enjoy watching him when it comes to in the ring. He's great. He's unique. Again, I'm sure this will be a good match. I always enjoy those big guys versus the little guys. Ryback being so much bigger and Kalisto coming from behind. I think it could be a good match. I don't imagine it's going to get too much time, but I think it's just going to be, obviously it could be a SmackDown match, and that's what people are going to say, and that's true. But it's not. It's going to be on the WrestleMania stage. I think that's going to make it feel a bit more special. And my prediction is the Ryback.
The Ryback.
The Ryback.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The machine. Again, I can see what they were trying to do with the kind of, Kalisto being the small kind of resourceful champion doing what he can to keep onto the title, and Ryback just being this giant Terminator figure that can just kind of destroy anyone at a moment's notice. And the question is, will Kalisto be able to survive him? Unfortunately, we know the answer, and that answer is yes, because he's already beaten him cleanly in the tournament for the Survivor Series.
Oh, that was ages ago.
Aeons
I don't
ago
even remember that.
books.
I honestly don't remember that.
No, it happened. It happened. So, and this is recent history as well. So, who knows why they've decided to go with this one-on-one match at WrestleMania and have a multi-man IC title match, which has lost for words.
It's not that bad. I mean, they're just getting things on the card, isn't it?
I don't understand, but why not have a multi-man US title match and have the same, most of the people in the ladder match for the IC title when that one is dead, and then feature Sami versus KO?
Because Vince knew that you'd predicted the US title to be the big ladder match, and he thought, I'm not letting him have that. No, I'm going to have to change the plans. Let's do it for the IC title. And, Sami and Kevin, we're going to get that at another point. There's no need to rush that straight away, I think.
Well, Vince does know me personally.
I know, he calls you via my calculator phone.
Calculator phone. That's the Thursday podcast.
Yes.
All right, so in terms of predictions, I'm going to go with Kalisto on this one. I'm going to disagree with you here.
Cool.
Ryback's already had the IC title before and didn't really do much with it. And I think Kalisto is quite big in a lot of the other markets. And they're quite high on him, so I can see a Kalisto retain there.
Cool.
And very lastly, in terms of the pre-show, maybe not. It's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Again, just a quick thought from my side on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. What you said before is absolutely true. It's great that they make sure that they can get as many different talents on the card as possible to do some kind of performance.
Yeah.
On there, the Battle Royal is a very efficient way of doing that. And I don't mind it at all. I just wish that the winner of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal actually got something tangible for it as well.
It'd be good, wouldn't it?
There's an actual ramification with it. It doesn't. I don't know. It's not particularly creative, but if they had a US or an IC title shot after that, just to kind of get a bit more.
They get a trophy, Chris. Have you not seen the size of that thing?
It's just an arbitrary trophy that gets wheeled out once a year. It does nothing for anyone.
Yeah,
and it's just all kind of pointless. Really.
It's been back on TV actually the last couple of weeks.
All right, okay.
Maybe 3 or 4 times a year.
I take that point back. I was wrong to say it.
Yeah,
but
it's harsh.
Yeah, I think it does stand and. So if they were given a title shot or something even more creative and interesting than that, just to kind of give it a bit more sense of speculation, just a bit more consequence, I guess. Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that they should do that in general. I mean, maybe King of the Ring, like when Barrett won that. I don't think he really got anything for that.
No.
There's numerous other examples where they should probably add a title shot onto the end of it, do more tournaments, involve more title shots, because we all love tournaments. Our sports fans, and we love title shots as well. So
exactly,
put them all on there.
It just has to mean something, doesn't it? It's kind of wrestling 101, I guess, to some extent.
Yeah,
there needs to be an outcome.
Well, the big question here, Chris, is who you got? Who's going to win the 3rd annual Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
I'll be honest, Ryan, I've not given it too much thought on this one, but I think off the top of my head, considering the confirmed combatants in it so far, that being Big Show Kane, the Social Outcasts, and I think Tyler Breeze, is about it.
And Mr. No Days Off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Darren Young.
I think.
I'm going to go for Big Show to retain the trophy for a second year.
Okay. I could see that happening. I'm not going to go for that one. I've got a slightly left field option.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for...
#massive pun.
Sorry,
Rob
pun.
And James, we're already copyright infringing you, so apologies for that. It's in honour of you.
Yeah, they're going to be tuning in. My victor is going to be #the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. Yeah. He's obviously not got anything going on the card. He's been a bit injured. Luke Harper now is apparently injured as well. I've heard about this. Terrible. So there's a couple of Wyatt family guys that haven't got anything planned. I can see them all being in there and getting breakthrough.
Confirmed?
It's not confirmed, but I think they're almost going for that shock angle. Yeah. Saw tremendous pictures today of Bray Wyatt opening the trading at the New York Stock Exchange on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, like for WrestleMania week. It's so huge. Obviously, they're everywhere. It was Bray, why have I forgot their names? Eric Rowan
and Braun Strowman.
And they were all at the New York Stock Exchange ringing the bell in gimmick. It was brilliant. I have to show you the picture. I saved it on my phone. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's good. But yeah, Bray is my guy because he hasn't got much going on. I think he's been injured, so they weren't sure what they could do. I think originally it was going to be Brock and Bray, but because of this, it wasn't. So yeah,
because of the injury.
I think it was. Yeah, I don't know, obviously, but that kind of makes sense if you put all the pieces together. So yeah, I could see Mr. Wyatt, the leader of the family.
Yeah, well, if he's in the match, then I would say that's a surefire.
Well, you said the Big Show. You can't go back now.
No. I'm going to stick with the Big Show.
You
Paul
are,
White's
yeah.
my man. I met him about 11 years ago. We're good friends, as with all the rest of the WWE superstars.
They're our friends.
Yeah, they're our rivals. But I think, you're right. Bray has a very good chance of winning it if he is in it, and I'm sure the Wyatt family probably help him to win.
Oh yeah,
and it will give him some good exposure still. Which would otherwise be a very quiet WrestleMania for Bray, considering he's fought Taker and Cena 31 and 30 respectively.
Yeah, it's strange. I think he's got to do something because he's still got a huge presence. I'd like to see him win this Battle Royal.
Too much presence, mate. He's overexposed, just like everyone else.
Not as bad as other people. He's not always on TV, actually, but
no, he's still on stock exchanges instead, apparently.
In character.
Yeah, but that's not what someone of his character would do.
I'm sure he would do, given the opportunity. Why not? I'd go to the stock exchange and do it.
You're not the eater of worlds, mate, all right?
Well, I don't think he eats many worlds either, to be fair.
I don't know. I think he's eaten a few. Careful now.
Oh, the main show.
All right, main show. This
America the Beautiful.
The show is finally here.
Fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks. The spectacle has arrived. The PR and everything around it is finished with. The event starts as it is. And America the Beautiful.
They've got it back.
On the pyro. They've got someone confirmed for singing it.
Yeah, some band, American women.
Yeah.
Girl group. I don't like their version of Little Mix or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. My brother was really, really happy to see that that's been announced because he just gets the horn over America the Beautiful for some reason.
Shout out to James, our only listener.
Yeah.
Maybe Queeran as well. Shout out to him.
Possibly. Yeah. Shout out to you two guys. Don't forget that 5-star rating. So can't wait for the actual show for it to start. This is always absolutely incredible. Every single year they have all the stuff going on, all the bells and whistles, and then they kick off with an amazing video package as well. And that's the thing that's going to get me just completely riled up and ready for it to start. So I can't wait for that to kick in.
No one has ever done it better, production-wise.
Oh, God, yeah.
Than those guys.
Shout out to those guys. The real recipients of the Warrior Award.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the first match, this is kind of open to speculation now, but I would say perhaps the IC title ladder match would probably go ahead of first.
Yeah, I was going to say either that or the tag title match, so I'm happy to go either one.
Is it a tag title match?
I'm not sure, actually, which is not good, but there's going to be a match.
New Day!
Yeah, I meant that one.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through the IC ladder match already. So I've already expressed some thoughts about how that probably shouldn't be a multi-man ladder match, but it is happening, and I am looking forward to it regardless. Multi-man ladder matches, especially at WrestleMania, are going to be, full of action and some great stuff. And to see the likes of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania in its own right is going to be really, really special.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. I'm also just a shout out to Zack Ryder as well. I'm sure he's only in there because Neville got hurt, which is unfortunate. But
definitely.
I've always had a soft spot for him. I still follow him on Twitter, even though it's 2016. And
he's a passionate guy.
Yeah, I'm really made up for him that he's made it onto the card. I think it obviously means the absolute world to him, and I'm sure he's going to, give the performance of his life in that match.
It's fair to say that there's a couple of guys in this match who wouldn't be in this match if the likes of Neville, Cesaro, Luke Harper, for example, maybe Randy Orton weren't injured. Those kind of guys would be in the match, which I think would make this match feel bigger than it currently does.
Yeah, true.
But it's obviously great for the guys that are in there. And again, it's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got no beef.
All of them are brilliant in the match.
Yeah.
I think they're all top stars, and they're going to really, really bring it. I'm not sure exactly what to expect in the match. Whether it'll be like a pop-up powerbomb off the top of the ladder. Is that even physically possible? I don't know.
I know about that. Ziggler could make it happen if anyone could make it happen.
Yeah, it'll be the one taking it for sure. But yeah, really, really looking forward to it. I'm sure there's going to be some jaw-dropping stuff in that match, and it'll be a great way to kick off the show.
Who you got?
Very strongly, I think that KO is going to retain.
Yeah.
I think he's the star of the match.
He's the story of the match.
Yeah. Everyone's gunning for him. Everyone's got a personal beef with him to some extent, and he's going to have a really strong showing. And by hook or by crook, he's going to clinch that title.
Okay. Well, I was thinking Kevin Owens all week, but sometimes your mind just changes when you're in the moment and you're having the conversation with your dear friend on a podcast.
Who's that?
I just think that the story that's being told here, not so well since Sami Zayn came on to Raw perhaps, but the whole backstory that all the hardcore fans know about is out for an injury, massive name, worked so hard, deserves it so much. Here he is, first WrestleMania, kind of lastminute.com, but here he is, He's my prediction. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn for IC champion.
Oh, that is definitely a hot shot to the IC title. He's only been on the roster full time.
Potentially a massive punt. I'm not sure, but that's the one for me.
Okay, it could certainly happen. I guess for me that would be a little premature. I think Sami Zayn is very much of the Daniel Bryan ilk, where he fights and fights and fights and keeps losing until he finally gets it, just like his story at NXT.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised to see him succeed so early on.
They like premature. Look at Kalisto.
Premature is the story of your life, mate.
Well, moving on.
No, that's true. It could well happen.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to that match. It's definitely up there for the ones that I'm most looking forward to.
Premature is our Saturday podcast.
And it's not a laughing matter, okay? It affects 7 out of 10 people, I think. So
Definitely.
No joking matter. Moving on. The second match on the card. Oof, it's a tough one to pick, I guess.
Should we go for the tags?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the tags or maybe Jericho AJ because it's like a one-on-one match where we've already had a multi-man, but it could well easily be that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. New Day versus New Day.
There it is.
Versus League of Nations, Wade Barrett,
The lads.
Rusev, Del Rio, and Sheamus. Hashtag the lads.
Sheamus.
Really happy that these two teams have got a featured match on the card, actually. I was a bit worried they might be lost in a multi-man tag match or even worse in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So it's really cool that they've got a featured match still.
It's a multi-man tag match.
Yeah, I know, but not like multi-team is what I mean. You know, you can get like a 4 corners.
And it's had some
match.
Good focus on it, some good builds, some good.
Yeah, they've opened Raw, haven't they? New Day recently, so it's definitely a featured match, and I'm really happy for them because all 7 of those people definitely deserve it.
They do. There's an awful lot of talent there. I think when you look at the New Day, people say interesting things about old Xavier Woods. Like he's the mind on him. He's such an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's so passionate and he can offer a lot. Because you don't see too much of him in the ring, but apparently he's going to be a big contributor behind the scenes, which is, and you can see it because he's so clever. Kofi's Kofi. He's been around for a long time. We all love what he does. He's great in the ring, and this has really kind of breathed new life into him as a character, getting to be the bad guy. Now back as the good guy.
Who would have thought he'd be such an effective heel?
Yeah, he was. He was great. And then the big guy, Big E. I think he's got a lot of potential. We all enjoy Big E.
Love it, yeah.
He's great.
New Day is just really sort of highlighted the strengths of all 3 of those people, I think, because I liked all 3 of them to a certain extent beforehand, but they work together as a team, like as everyone knows, has been so good and so entertaining.
That's what's so great about tags, though, isn't it? When you put guys together who, it might be they're okay on their own, they're good. When you put them together and it just works, it clicks, the chemistry and everything, it's just like, this was meant to be. That's what you've got with those guys. And maybe with the League of Nations, you haven't quite got that. Individually, I do think these guys are all tremendously talented. I think Rusev should be a main event player. Yeah. He's a beast. He's funny. He's got the look. He's got everything. Rusev's great. Obviously, we're Brits. We love Barrett. Del Rio certainly got something, and Sheamus as well. The look. We've always said it since day one. There's a lot of talent, obviously, around in the company, but I think that together, hopefully, they'll come together, get a bit more chemistry, and hashtag the lads will keep rolling on. I like the idea.
Hashtag the lads, yeah. All 4 of them are just legit as well. You can believe them when they're in a match or in a fight because they are, hard nuts. All 4 of them. Really
Wade Barrett was a bare knuckle boxer, I'll have you know.
Truth,
or not.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy, especially in this landscape with all the injuries that people like Rusev and Sheamus are still on the card, of course. But you think they might be elevated to a certain extent, considering the match that Rusev had last year at Mania.
Del Rio, he knocked out John Cena with one kick to the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Took John Cena out.
Yeah, that's what
I haven't seen John Cena. I think he's dead.
That's what I think a US Open challenge, mate. I'm raising my middle finger right now. That's what Rusev thought of his Open challenge.
Yeah, so this is big match. It's got a lot of focus on it. I'm going to actually predict that the League of Nations are going to win and become the new WWE, the lot.
Yeah.
I just think that they want to get behind them a little bit more. I think that they're, momentum. Be a shame for the New Day, but it's going to be a good match. League of Nations.
I disagree with you. I'm going to go with the New Day for 2 reasons. The first being that Barrett will probably take the fall because he's on his way out, unfortunately. We know that, well, we're fairly sure, that he's not going to be renewing his contract, so he'll probably be the fall guy and lose the match. If he's even in the match, he might still be 3-on-3. So that's one reason why I think that's why they will probably take the L on that one. I also think they've got bigger plans for New Day. I think New Day are 2014's Shield, and that they're going to have a big victory at WrestleMania. They're going to go through the League of Nations and then something's going to happen, whether Big E or someone turns on the other, and that star is going to get elevated into the main event scene. So they want to make New Day look strong. Big event like this at WrestleMania because they've got bigger plans for them.
Oh, that was interesting. I didn't think about it like that. I mean, the Shield, obviously, what they've done is unprecedented as 3 guys to go straight to the main event, to be such a big part of the program.
They're obviously a much different faction. I'm not saying they're similar in any way, but I just think the journey they're going to go on might be similar. Yeah,
well, I'm behind that. I'd like to see that going into the next WWE fiscal year as it is. Okay,
exactly.
AJ Jericho.
Yeah, it's very likely that it could be next. They've done a really good job with this one, I think. I really was kind of a bit confused when it looked like they were going to go for match 4 between Jericho and AJ, and I really struggled to think how they were going to make it interesting again. But firstly, I have to say Jericho has been brilliant since his comeback. I was a fair critic of him in his last few years because he sort of just shows up and does his shtick and then buggers off every time. But since coming back here, he's obviously turned heel and he's had some great matches, and his mic work and everything has been really, really good. So
on point.
I humbly take my criticisms from him in the past back.
Yeah.
And they've successfully managed to make me feel quite excited and quite pumped for this match again.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see AJ on the main stage. That'd be quite special.
It's unbelievable AJ Styles is in the WWE, really.
I know, yeah. It's only been there for a couple of months.
Imagine telling us a year ago, the WrestleMania 31, look guys, next year AJ Styles is going to be here. Yeah. It's going to be on the card. Wow.
Versus Chris Jericho.
That's good.
Yeah. So, obviously this particular match has a lot more personal rivalry to it. Jericho's turned his back on AJ, and they've built up quite nicely, I think. It's not been perfect, but I think they've done a really good job, and both people have done a good job to promote the match and make it mean something, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, we know both guys can go as well. Hopefully they get enough time to be able to do something special. I mean, we obviously saw AJ Styles last October in Japan.
We did.
In the sumo arena, in the main event, going for the championship. No chairs available, but no, it was a great event. We saw what AJ can do there. We already knew what he could do, but I mean, I think that match went on for about 40-odd minutes. It was a long match. He's going to get nowhere near that amount of time. No. But hopefully they get enough time to do something special, to have a kind of WrestleMania moment match. I'm thinking that they will, and I'm going to go for AJ Styles to win.
Yeah, smart choice, I would say. I don't think that they certainly won't get 40 minutes, and I don't think they need 40 minutes either. But as long as they get a fair amount of time to show off what both people can do and tell a story, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's important for Jericho, telling the story.
Yeah.
That's what this whole feud has been about. I mean, it's telling a story.
Yeah.
Very different from any other match on this card, the way it's been built up. I mean, they've had the matches, he turned on him, really big story here.
Yeah.
That the other matches, probably this is the deepest when you think about it.
Certainly up there, yeah. They have a real legit reason to be fighting each other, and that's what's kind of hooked us.
Reigns and Triple H have had a thing going on for 2 or so years, but it hasn't really been talked about as much in that time span.
It's not been as effective.
Yeah, but we'll get to that bit later on.
We will. More on that later.
So we both agree.
Foreshadowing.
Mr. Styles on this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'd be very surprised to see Jericho win, considering obviously I think he's here just to make AJ a star, which he's doing exceedingly well right now.
Doing his job.
Jericho's probably on his way to do his other projects after WrestleMania. So yeah, very strongly feel that AJ would and should win this one.
Good.
And it's going to be a really great match. It's better than Jericho Fandango already.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Agreed.
I reckon it's going to be the women's match next.
Okay, yeah.
Not Divas, women's.
Yeah.
This is of course going to be Charlotte with Ric Flair as the Divas champion versus Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks in a triple threat match. Really, really excited for this one. I think, again, providing they have the right time to tell a story, and triple threats can be a bit awkward in kind of coordination sometimes, but providing they manage to do that, then I think it's going to be a really good match. It's the 3 stalwarts of the Divas Revolution against each other on the biggest stage. It's really, really big deal for them as well. I think it could be a really, really good match. Could even steal the show.
Wow, I mean, to steal the show, I don't see that happening, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a massive...
Get a bit overexcited.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when you've got Hell in a Cell with Shane and Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Street Fight, I mean...
All right, fair one.
I mean, I think that it is probably the biggest women's match in WrestleMania history. When has it ever felt this big? I mean...
The only one, certainly in recent memory, that comes to mind is Mickie James versus Trish at 22.
Yeah, that had great build, but... I don't know how much focus was put on it compared to this.
Yeah, it's the only one that can possibly compare, I'd say, certainly in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and the women mean so much more now because of these women, because of NXT, because of what they built there. Everyone is so much more invested in them. And these, as you say, these were 3 of the 4, if you like, of the real kind of bread and butter who made it what it is now. So the fact that these 3 are going to be there on the biggest stage of them all, of all time, it's huge. And I think that it's going to be a good match. Can it live up to those NXT matches of yesteryear? Maybe we haven't quite had an NXT takeover quality Divas matchup on the WWE main stage yet.
I don't think so. No, I mean there's been some good matches as recent as what was the event they had recently? The special Roadblock.
Oh, Roadblock, yeah.
Natty. Yeah, I can never say that.
Yeah.
Natty versus Charlotte was really, really good. Not quite on the level as NXT, like you say, but providing at the right time and they don't shit the bed, it should be really, really good.
They've got Ric Flair there, obviously, surely.
Slapping his arms like there's no tomorrow.
Kissing Becky Lynch. Kiss who he wants.
It wouldn't be WrestleMania without some sexual harassment. But yeah, if it can live up to any of the kind of matches they had in NXT, just off the top of my head, Becky versus Sasha at one of the special events they had at NXT last year was brilliant.
Yeah.
So if they can capture that kind of magic, then they're on to a winner.
Let's hope they do. Who are you betting on?
Oh yeah, good point. Becky.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a left field one, but sometimes you've got to do that to feel alive. I think I like Becky a lot, and although she lost that fast lane, something's going to happen. She's going to capitalise, and it's going to be a surprise victory for the Irish lass.
Yeah, well, these things obviously can happen in a triple threat. There can be an excuse for the champion losing, or maybe the champion can also kind of go the other way and has an excuse for getting a cheap win or a quick win or something, especially with their father at ringside, the dirtiest player in the game. So I'm going to go for Charlotte to retain here.
Odds on, it could well be her. But no, I'm backing the underdog on this one. So it'll be an interesting one to see. We could both be wrong. Could easily be Sasha.
Sasha.
Sawsha. Sasha.
Yes.
Can't wait to see it.
Big match.
Yes. Next, are we into the main event scene?
I don't know. Have we forgot any? Is it the 3?
That'll be it. I think we're getting through this at a pretty decent pace. I don't think it's going to be much later in the card when we have Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar.
Wow.
Lesnar. I can never do that as well as Mr. Paul Heyman.
No one can.
Nor should I. Yeah. Really cannot wait for this. I'm a huge Brock Lesnar mark, as you know. I'll be wearing my Brock Lesnar t-shirt and holding my Brock Lesnar toy as I'm watching this match. Right?
Yeah.
So it's the two of those fighting against each other in a street fight. And I can't wait. I think they're going to absolutely tear down the house. They're going to have lots of toys in the ring. Dean Ambrose is, one crazy MFer. I'm sure they've got a lot of ideas going into the match. And Brock, in any kind of capacity in a WWE ring, is money.
It is. John Cena says this is going to steal the show.
Did he?
He did.
When did he say that?
I spoke to him yesterday.
Did he?
He said it on the internet in some interview, obviously. I read today while I was working hard at work.
Oh, can you not get him on the podcast?
I tried. Next time, he said.
Next time.
Yeah.
Busy. Understandable. It could well be. I mean, Dean Ambrose, this is a golden opportunity for him, and he definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
He's going to grab it with both hands, and he's going to absolutely fight his high and give the performance of his life, I think.
That's without question, isn't it? For me, the big question here is, Dean Ambrose, out of the 3 guys in the Shield, has probably received the least amount from the company in terms of, the push or, the opportunity, whatever you want to call it. I think that's a fact. In most of his big matches, when it's come to the real big matches, he's lost. And so the smart money is obviously saying that when he has this match on Sunday, he's going to lose because he always seems to lose the big matches. And he can actually still come out of it, better, like he did with that match against Triple H a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. But, on the other hand, wouldn't it be great maybe if he wins and that could be the start of them really pushing him as this kind of new Stone Cold type? Not the next Stone Cold, but, a next Stone Cold type. And, get behind him a little bit more. Because obviously the fans love him. It seems like all the fans love him. So, could you see that happening?
Yeah, it's a nice thought, but it's not happening, right? Because he's fighting Brock Lesnar.
Come on, get over your fanboy love of Brock Lesnar.
I'm not even going to entertain the idea. Okay. Brock Lesnar conquered the streak 2 years ago.
He did.
Beat Undertaker.
He did.
22-1 now because of him.
He lost his title in the main event last year.
But he wasn't pinned, was he? That would have been Mr. Reigns that took the fall on that one.
He lost.
If it was a one-on-one match, one-on-one, no outside interference or any other kind of shenanigans going on, Lesnar is winning 10 times out of 10. And Dean Ambrose has got a lot of heart and he's going to really bring the fight to Lesnar. I'm not saying it's going to be particularly easy for him. But there's no way that Ambrose is beating Brock at WrestleMania. He's going to fight his heart out. He may get KO'd in the end, or loses consciousness, or takes 10 F5s.
Yeah.
He's going to lose.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that maybe the fact this is a street fight, a no-hold-barred fight, that has been added so that Dean can win. There's some way in which he can get it. But to be honest with you, I don't see it. I'm also going for a Brock Lesnar win.
He has threatened the use of a chainsaw, right?
Chop him in half. That'll keep him down for the 3.
Book it.
Kill him, Dean. Kill him.
Yeah.
He might need to kill him, I think. But no, I think we both agreed. Lesnar.
Bit of a weird one, that. I mean, don't we see Terry Funk, Chainsaw Charlie handing over a chainsaw? She's not actually going to... That's not going to appear in the match, is it? It's a chainsaw that's used for cutting down trees.
Lesnar's like a tree.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't like the chainsaw's chances against Brock Lesnar, to be fair. I think the chainsaw's made his match there as well.
But if we've got sledgehammers to the head, I'm sure we can have a chainsaw to the neck.
How do you fake a chainsaw shot? I mean,
if anyone can do it, it's Vince and Co.
I heard that Brock Lesnar uses a chainsaw when he bleeds, when he does a blade job. He needs an actual chainsaw to do it because he's so hard.
He's tough nut.
Hard without the H. Can't wait to see it. Always good to see Paul Heyman as well. He's going to be playing his part as well, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really, really special match. Can't wait for it.
Yeah. Probably show stealer.
Yeah.
It's huge. I think I'm looking forward to this one maybe the most, along with the Cell.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about that one next?
Yeah.
Segue to the Cell.
We've covered everything, I think, on Ambrose Lesnar. Let's get into it.
Whoa.
Now, you talk about if you would have told me 12 months ago with the other thing we were talking about with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me, not even 12 months ago, a month ago, or maybe just a little more, that Undertaker's match at WrestleMania 32 was going to be in a Hell in a Cell match. That's surprising enough.
Yeah,
Hell in a Cell match against Shane McMahon. The returning Shane McMahon we haven't seen in WWE since 2009.
So you know what they say.
7 years.
Money talks.
Money does talk.
Here comes the money.
Bling, bling, cling, cling, dala, dala.
And everyone seems to be up for it. Excited. Intrigued.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely and utterly bonkers and kind of nonsensical in a lot of ways if you pick it apart. But
I don't want to pick it apart, do we?
I don't want to pick it apart.
No.
I really don't want to. It's a Hell in a Cell match. It's Shane McMahon versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. This is me with my pure fanboy hat on. I cannot wait to see it. I mean, it's just the kind of match that you would select on WWE 2K16 as a kind of like a left field, let's just do what we want kind of thing. So if it's actually happening in 2016, I still can't really get my head around it.
No, it's surreal. It's typical showbiz, WWE, mentalness. I don't know what the right word is. It's crazy. It's why Vince is the best promoter in the world. It's why we love him so much. He is our God, and he has put together this, or his team have put together this, and God, wow.
I just I really want. I'm really interested to see how this came about, in the creative room, whether it was someone to say, let's see if Shane's up for it, or if Shane reached out to say, hey,
what about me?
I've risen some businesses, I've done my thing for a bit, maybe we can work together again.
Yeah.
Whether this is purely because the injuries has happened, Vince has gone, oh God, I'm going to pull the red lever, let's get Shane McMahon in, just do something. Oh yeah, make it a cell match.
Yeah. Well, what else could they have done to make this bigger match out of nothing? Out of Cena getting injured, probably going to be Cena Undertaker at WrestleMania. I think that was meant to be the plan.
Yeah.
Everyone would love to see that and still would, but when that was gone, because of their, to be honest, lack of building up anybody else throughout the rest of the year between last WrestleMania and this WrestleMania who wasn't injured, there wasn't really anybody else there to face the Undertaker, who already hasn't had a series of matches with the Undertaker at that level, at this level. It was a stroke of genius, however it came about. And God knows what Shane's going to do. Is he going to kill himself? Is he going to jump off the cell? Everyone's intrigued. This is great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right about who else could take a form. I was really scraping the barrel. I was thinking maybe they could really elevate Kevin Owens, but he was losing to he was losing to Dolph Ziggler.
It's not quite there.
Yeah, it would be great, and they could make the most.
You've got a Kurt Angle or a Jeff Hardy, maybe, but it wouldn't have been quite at this.
I was going to say that doesn't make much sense, but neither does Shane McMahon in a cell match.
It does not. It does not.
Nothing would have been off the table, I suppose. I'm sure they looked at several different other options.
Yes, and there's obviously a lot of stake in this match as well. Basically for the control of the WWE, which has been at storyline I think a lot of people have talked about happening mainly between Triple H and Vince for like control of the WWE for years and years and years and years. It's actually going to happen now, pretty much, in terms of this match. So it's interesting just to see from a storyline point of view what they're going to do afterwards. Is it Undertaker's last WrestleMania? You'd imagine Undertaker against Shane McMahon, again, like the Lesnar-Ambrose, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, Undertaker would win. He's the most badass WWE superstar of all time. They called him the greatest superstar of all time on Raw. Hard to disagree with that. And he's going up against the guy who, is a stunt kind of performer. Logic says there's no logic in this match anyway. People are probably going to get involved. I don't know what we can predict. What else we can say here, Chris? I mean, I want to know who you think's going to win.
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about as well about the story that's gone into it.
He has more.
So yeah, they're fighting with the company on the line. Shane McMahon wants control of Monday Night Raw, and he's been saying in his promos leading up to WrestleMania some very hard-hitting, somewhat truthful things about how the loss of audience or whatever, or the stocks are down, injuries are happening. Hitting that's pretty close to the mark. So it makes me think, well, why would they expose that kind of thing and then have Shane lose?
Well, it's not strictly status quo. It's not strictly true about what he was saying. I mean, I don't think the company's ever been as valuable potentially as it is now. It makes more money on a revenue basis than it ever has before. Obviously, TV ratings are down, but a lot of people don't really watch TV that much anymore. It's all on the phones. They're saying it because they know there's a lot of fans out there who believe it. And it's something they can tap into. It's like tapping into the reality, making the story real. It gets people's attention. Got my attention. Got your attention. And people are like, yeah, that's right. It isn't as good as it used to be. Fuck Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie. We need a new guy, and that's what Shane is. And that's it's why this is so good. It's kind of based on some realism, like you've said.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of it's risen the interest, piqued the interest of those who just want a bit more reality and authenticity behind what they're watching. Yeah. It would seem a shame if Shane was to lose this match, for that kind of to be snatched away from him again. The idea of Shane McMahon being there, and because this was very real. Before Shane left, he was the one who wanted to resurrect ECW in its original format as a kind of like internet show, kind of back end indie kind of promotion. He had all these ideas that were always just kind of either dismissed by Vince, or Vince then did it in his own way, and it didn't work out. And that's obviously what caused Shane.
Maybe he's an idiot.
This is real.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
He hasn't got the gumption to run it. Obviously, we know Triple H has, because we've seen that in NXT. We know that he is the guy to run this thing. Probably, if we're talking about real life now, from what we see, Shane hasn't had that really. He's always been his dad's bitch, just as the Undertaker. everyone's bitch in this match, is what I've seen over the last couple of weeks.
That's for sure.
We are. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to go here. My prediction is going to be based on logic in this match, where there obviously is no logic. And I'm going to say if it was The Undertaker in a match, Hell in a Cell against Shane McMahon, The Undertaker would win. So I'm going for The Undertaker.
Yeah. I mean, how can you possibly really argue that? I mean, Shane McMahon, as good as he might have looked in his little, was it Thai boxing, whatever it is?
Oh, he's doing Thai boxing.
Thai kickboxing.
He's got his Air Jordans on.
You did a bit of Thai kickboxing, didn't you?
I did, mate. I was a world champion. Fought in Thailand in January.
If you look closely, it's actually Ryan teaching Shane all those moves.
It was.
And the video packages have been really good. But that side, Shane will probably put up a really valiant fight and do some crazy stuff. And I'm really worried, actually, about what stuff he's going to be doing, considering they've already given away the leap of faith from the turnbuckle to the announce table for free.
I'd like to see him do some damage to himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rich. He's got a good life. Let's see him put himself through some pain here.
Oh, that's the thing. He's in his 40s now. He does have a family. He's not the same Shane who jumped off the stage at Backlash 2001. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah, but according to all reports, he's fearless. He is the same person. Yeah. Vince's son is going to have an effect on someone, isn't it? That guy's mental. He's obviously also a little bit mental.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
I don't know. Yeah, this match raises so many questions. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Taker will ultimately win, even if there are some people getting involved. And I'm sure there must be someone getting involved.
Oh, yeah.
Match, whether it be Vince or Triple H or
Cena
maybe,
The Rock, Stone Cold.
Or maybe someone...
Seth Rollins.
Yeah. It could be someone completely left field who wouldn't expect, but they want Taker to win because they want the company preserved the way it is or whatever. Shenanigans are going to happen. You talk about your bells and whistles?
Your whistles?
Bells and whistles
and
cloak and dagger and smoke and mirrors, and there's going to be bare smoke and bare mirrors in this match.
So you're saying The Undertaker, you're a long way around saying The Undertaker's going to win.
Short answer, yes.
Okay.
Undertaker's going to win. But if Shane does win, I will be very, very interested to be watching Monday Night Raw the next night.
We're going to be interested anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, but if it does happen, then that will really pique speculation. So I'm kind of flirting with the idea of if Shane wins somehow and suffers his second ever loss at WrestleMania, that will create so much buzz.
Buzz?
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think Taker's going to win.
This leads us on to what will probably be the main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I can see by the look on Chris's face that we could have a bit of a rant coming our way about this one. Chris, what have you got to say?
Well, no, again, this is a celebratory podcast. This is probably the least interested I've been in a world title match at WrestleMania since I can remember, really. And that's even when we had the world title and the WWE title.
What about Rock Cena too? You weren't that famous. What about Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio?
You just love exposing my lack of thought before I make these brash statements.
You're trying to be dramatic.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm being dramatic. I'm trying to get listeners in.
Yes.
All right, okay. Let me rephrase. Okay, main event of WrestleMania, which is this likely is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like, the least interested I've been in terms of a headline top WrestleMania match. I can see why they've obviously still gone. They're still pushing Roman. He definitely looks the part. He looks $1 million. $1 billion.
Sexy.
Yeah, I'm sexually attracted to him. There you go. I'm not. Straight as an arrow.
I'm a bisexual.
Yeah. That's our Saudi podcast. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this match. It's not been built up particularly well. They've continued to obviously push Roman. I like Roman, but I get really frustrated with the attention they put on Roman in terms of like he has to say these lines and he has to do certain things in a certain way.
Yeah.
They're not really giving him any kind of rope to do his own thing and to let his real authentic character shine through. If he was to do that even just a little bit and just to make more of a connection with me as a fan, then I'd be more into it. But he's so just, to me, a puppet of WWE creative at the moment.
Did you see what The Rock put on Instagram?
I did. I was just going to mention
that. Yeah, I read that this morning.
That was obviously in reference to Roman as well.
Well, it must have been. You think that he'd be telling Roman the same thing? I mean, don't just do what you're told. Be yourself and let that shine through. And that's probably good enough to make him a star. So that was a strange one.
Yeah, it's weird that he put that on something as public as social media, but I'm sure he's told Roman that in the same sort of way.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna not have this match be shat on by the crowd. I mean, I do think it's going to go on last, but no one wants to see Roman win, especially the kind of fans that are going to be there in attendance.
Well, you say that, but there are going to be 100,000 fans, give or take, in attendance here. I remember thinking the same when we went to Miami for The Rock versus Cena, and I just imagined, oh my God, there's going to be no Cena fans here. It's going to be 100% Rock fans. But in my opinion, when we got there, it was more like 60-40, maybe 70-30 in Miami, and maybe more, well, maybe 60-40 in Miami, but 70-30 in New York. Cena definitely has his fans, and I think Roman kind of has those same fans, the younger fans. There will be families going to WrestleMania still. There will be a lot of women going to WrestleMania still. They all love Roman Reigns. Obviously, they're going to be shouted over by the guys our age, who everyone seems to dislike Roman Reigns in our kind of category and our demo. But I think he'll definitely have his fans there. He's not disliked by everybody. That's what we have to remember. He's disliked by the guys,
a vocal minority.
They say a vocal minority, and I think when it comes to the arenas, I mean, unfortunately, that vocal minority is at the pay-per-views. A lot of the TV tapings, especially in places like New York on last Monday on Raw, they're the places where they're going to get a lot of guys like us turning up, having a beer, booing Roman Reigns. Whether they actually do want to boo him because they don't like him or whether they're joining in for the fun of it, that comes across. Where I think, at house shows, apparently he gets fantastic reactions. He's got his fans. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be 100% Roman's a knob at WrestleMania.
Roman Reigns is lame. That's what I think it is. Yeah. As I said,
you've got one leg longer than the other?
No.
That's what lame is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he might have that problem as well. I don't know. But yeah, he's just got that kind of stilted. It's letting that character shine through. I'm kind of repeating myself here, but that's what I think it is. If he just had some more of a connection to the more majority of the fans, or at least us kind of fans, we really get behind him more. That's what all it is. He just seems to be kind of nodding and doing exactly what the top dogs at WWE are telling him to do.
Which isn't helping him, is it?
No,
I think he had an interview last weekend or something I read where he said that what he does for like the families. And when he sees adults like booing him, he thinks, well, you're a loser. Like I'm here for the kids, not for you losers. And he didn't say it in that way, but that's how it came across. And one of your favourites, Wade Keller, I saw a tweet from him where he basically said, well, okay, if that's the case, then how about you only get paid by the families and not by all the adult males who go and watch as well? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, you have to appeal to everybody. Yeah. And he doesn't help himself in a lot of ways. I think he needs to turn heel. We've said this for a good year and a bit longer, 2 years maybe. Yeah. That would really help him. But for some reason, they're just really stubborn on Roman. They want him to be this next John Cena.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. They're just kind of pushing him and forcing him through, just like they did with Cena 10 years ago. And the difference is that Roman Reigns is not in the same league as John Cena.
Well, he's not John Cena.
Yeah, he's not. And it's not going to work because Cena had the talent ultimately to push it through and to use and optimise the reaction he was getting to his advantage. And now he's a top star and has, fantastic matches with anyone. Roman's not.
He has good matches.
Yeah, I know.
He's not the talker that Cena is nowhere near it.
Yeah.
I think obviously what the big thing that loads of people say is that he needs to be a lot different from John Cena. Who were the megastars before? And John Cena is one of the biggest stars they've ever had. Been on top for longer than anybody. But who was the megastar before John Cena? Let's say it was The Rock. John Cena was very different from The Rock. Who was the megastar before The Rock? Stone Cold. The Rock was very different from Stone Cold. Before Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Hogan, they're very different from each other. Roman needs to be a bit different when he's maybe trying to be too similar to Cena, is what a lot of people say.
Yeah, well, Reigns definitely is different to Cena, in real life as well. Different upbringing, different background, different everything. He just needs to.
Are they that different? You're saying he's a bit more. He's more Samoan than Cena.
Definitely
they both played football in college.
Yeah,
both athletes. Both ruggedly handsome individuals.
Reigns has got long hair.
Reigns has got long hair. So, they look a bit different, but maybe, I don't know. It's
personality-wise and that sort of thing is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Reigns, by all accounts, apparently he does have great charisma and great personality backstage. And obviously he's stilted and can't.
You can tell he's got charisma. He's got a presence. Yeah. Everyone says it. You see him. You know he's got. Look at him. Oh, he's got it. It's just the way that he comes across. It's like he's not being real. I think The Rock nailed it on the head if he was talking about Roman Reigns. That's probably his problem. And he's got a lot of, he's still young. He's got a lot of time to get over that. Maybe they're going to do something big here. Maybe there will be that kind of heel turn or, that double kind of swap. What's going to happen, man?
Maybe it will be Reigns. Maybe this match won't go on last. Reigns wins and then interferes in the cell match in the main event to cost Shane the victory, and then beats Triple H, and then becomes the next corporate champion with Triple H and Vince. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, but none of these matches really do. So.
No.
I don't know.
We agree that they need to do something a little bit different.
Something has to happen.
Either way, I do see Roman Reigns winning his third World Championship. I'm going for Reigns. Are you following suit?
You believe that they're preparing to have, as the last shot of WrestleMania 32, Reigns standing triumphantly over Triple H with the title.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen that way, if it goes a different way. But
it's just going to get so heavily booed. Are they really going to allow that to happen, do you think?
Fireworks allowed.
More fireworks. We need more fireworks.
All the men will storm out and be like, all right, I'm going. And that will leave 30% of the women there just going crazy with Roman. They all come into the ring.
Confetti.
Big orgy.
Yeah.
That's WrestleMania 32.
That's not PG, that's for sure. And just a quick note on Triple H as well. He's the one fighting Reigns. This has mainly been about Roman Reigns here, but
been a mode.
Yeah, a little bit. But Triple H has done some pretty good work, I think, since winning the title. He's definitely been the kind of typical powerful heel, and where he's just kind of mocking the fans in terms of not ever achieving their dreams. But look at me, I can do it here, and blah blah. So
he's great. He's great at that, isn't he?
And the shape he's in is unbelievable. He looks better than ever, I think.
Yeah, at 46 or something.
Yeah, insane.
Because he's driven.
Yeah, he certainly is, and you can tell. So props to Triple H for some pretty decent work over the last few months since he's been back on TV.
Hardest working man in the business. Obviously working next to the most demanding man, Vince McMahon. He does that day in, day out. He works out. He's back in the ring now, being a great character. He loves it. We love him.
How does he get through with such little sleep? I genuinely can't function if I have less than 7.5 hours sleep. So
built differently.
Yeah, obviously he's just more of a man than you or I guess.
Yeah, can't deny that.
Fair play to you. So in terms of predictions, Yeah, I mean, I can't really see Triple H retaining the title at WrestleMania in 2016 because he's only a part-time, performer in that sense, and it'd be strange for him to retain it, being in the position that he's in. So I guess it's going to be Reigns.
Yeah.
In what capacity and in what kind of fashion remains to be seen, but I'm going to be going with the Reigns victory here.
Yeah. I said Reigns too.
Yeah.
It's going to reign.
In an alternate universe, what might have made much more sense for this event is if we had the returning Shane McMahon versus Triple H for control of the company, considering Triple H has, an actual vested stake in it because he was supposed to be the go-to person, the next one in line before Shane comes back. So surely that instantly makes so much more sense on paper.
Maybe.
And they have a heel Roman Reigns versus Undertaker, whether for the title or not, I don't know, or whatever, but
yeah, that sounds good.
that just seems a lot more logical to me, just a random thought that popped into my head.
We don't need logic. We need Shane Taker, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
No logic, balls to the walls.
Well, that's just a no-brainer, isn't it?
Craziness.
Taker and Shane in a Hell in a Cell.
So look, we've run through the matches, obviously, but there's probably going to be a bit more sizzle here on this steak. The Rock is announced. He's going to be there.
He is.
We don't know what he's going to do. Obviously, Stone Cold, it's WrestleMania, it's Texas. He said he's going to be there. What the hell's he going to do? Hogan's knocking about. So is he going to be around?
What's he been up to recently?
I don't know, actually.
Hogan up to no good as per usual, probably.
I'm just interested to see. I mean, originally I thought that The Rock would probably get on a match, maybe team with. Originally I thought the Usos. I predicted. I could have seen him coming in with New Day.
That's how you book Rock on the pre-show.
Then that's not the pre-show.
The Usos.
Not the Usos. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that turned into pre-show. Yeah, and now the New Day. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen there.
A good friend at that, Rob Lee, also predicted that he wouldn't be surprised if The Rock did appear as the fourth member of New Day versus League of Nations.
You thought they'd promote it though, obviously.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I really don't think The Rock's going to be wrestling. He's got his Baywatch thing going on. He's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, pun intended.
Yeah.
I don't know. I reckon we're much more likely to have Rock and Austin in the ring at the same time. Maybe even John Cena as well. I'd be
like
surprised.
a WrestleMania 30.
Yeah. I think something could happen there. I would love to see Austin drop some poor schmuck on the stack of dimes they call a net. I haven't seen a stunner in about 5 years.
Wow.
So I'd love to see someone get stunned at the event, but I doubt if that's going to happen with Rock and Cena that either of those would be getting that.
Tune in Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we'll see Hogan. I think we need the dust to settle on his
too soon
sex tape scandal and the like. I think it's a little too soon. Plus, the racism and everything.
Yeah,
I don't think now's the time.
He's a bit naughty.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing The Rock and Austin. They're both confirmed to be there. It'll be cool to see Cena as well. It'll be a shame to not have him there at WrestleMania, considering who he is.
Yes. I think he'll definitely be there as well, in some capacity.
Yeah.
Maybe even Seth Rollins as well.
Maybe even like just a backstage segment to say, by the way, Reigns, if you win tonight,
I'm here.
Exactly. I'll be coming back. He'll get a huge pop if he shows up.
Maybe we'll see these guys in a bit of a different role. Maybe we'll see them on Friday night, sitting in the crowd, enjoying NXT TakeOver Dallas, which we should have a quick word on because there's been so many amazing. Every TakeOver is incredible. We were at the last one in London.
Yep.
This one, as far as the card that's announced, it is incredible. The best card on paper yet. This is going to be incredible. This is going to be amazing.
A lot of people are saying this is the real WrestleMania, right?
Well, it's not the real WrestleMania because it's TakeOver. It's the real TakeOver. That's what it is.
Yeah, but in terms of anticipation, it's absolutely huge. I can't wait to see it as well. We're talking about the women's matches on WrestleMania and how much they mean. But
oh God, yeah.
Asuka versus Bayley.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see that. I'm a huge fan of Asuka. I love her in work. She's an absolute killer in the ring, and I'm genuinely finding myself speculating about how Bayley can possibly get out of this one. She beat Nia Jax to her credit, but I don't think she's going to overcome this one. So I'm particularly looking forward to that match and to the whole show in general.
Yeah, it's absolutely stacked. Good. What have we got? We've got Nakamura making his debut against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn doing double duty. Obviously, the main event, the rematch. I think Joe's gonna come through on this one against Finn, and then Finn can make his merry way over to Raw and SmackDown. American Alpha against the Revival, biggest tag match in TakeOver history. Wow,
brilliant match. I love all four of those.
You've obviously got Baron Corbin against Austin Aries as well.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a bit of a noob with Austin Aries. I mean, hand on heart, to my shame, I've not really seen much of his work, but I know everyone loves him, and it's going to be a really good match. So I'm really interested to see what he can do as well.
What a card! And then obviously Hall of Fame Saturday night, as is tradition. A lot of big names going in this year, to be fair.
Yep.
It's sometimes a bit of a chore to get through it. I think I'll be fast forwarding through the bits I don't want to see. getting to the names on there that I do want to see, of which there are quite a few. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. I think everyone deserves to be there who's being inducted this year. It's weird, as the years go on, I'm starting to recognise nearly everyone who goes in there, whereas maybe 10 years ago, I recognised 2 or 3 people going in.
Did you know Stan Hansen?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, didn't follow all of his work or anything, but I knew who he was and what kind of type of wrestler he was. So, and clearly deserves his spot as well.
Definitely.
And everyone else I'm really familiar with now. Really looking forward to seeing that. Sting absolutely deserves to be in there as well. I'm sure his speech would be good.
Who else we got? We've got Bossman.
The Freebirds.
The Freebirds, obviously.
316 will be very happy with that one. Friend Steve.
He will be. I've just seen Michael Hayes on Legends with JBL.
Oh, yeah. Is that good?
It is good. It's worth watching. He's a unique individual. And also the Daniel Bryan 24 special. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Watch it. It will bring a tear to a glass eye.
God, I'm not sure if I'm ready.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's sad, but fantastic.
Okay, definitely I'll watch as well.
Part of WrestleMania week on the WWE Network, which obviously has started already, fully underway. So much content.
I love it.
We're here. We're days away. We're living it. It's WrestleMania week.
It's it. The road to WrestleMania.
There it is.
We're here right now. It's
We're
the
excited.
best week/weekend of the year.
It's Christmas.
Can't wait to dive into it. At the weekend when it all starts kicking off, or as a Friday, I guess one say.
Friday, really, for us, yeah.
Yeah. Good times lie ahead.
Dude, they do.
Okay, I think that wraps everything up quite nicely. We're 5 minutes past the hour, but any closing thoughts from yourself, Ryan?
No, not really. I think, obviously, to all of our thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of listeners, enjoy.
Loyal viewers.
Loyal listeners.
Been there since day one.
Not viewers.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
I've done this before.
Exactly. It's going to be epic. It's going to be fun. Obviously, we'll look to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully echo your thoughts there, Ryan. Again, can't wait to get into everything this weekend. It's going to be a great shows. And we'll see who wins in the predictions as well.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be yours truly.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I think that's everything from us here. Thanks very much for listening. If anyone here ever does listen to this,
come on, brothers.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll even do a post WrestleMania show depending on how that goes as well. So thanks for listening, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Jericho.